Hey, and we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. We're at Blue Jeans Pizza this morning, right here in downtown Blue Ridge. They're getting ready for the lunch crowd. Don't forget, at 10 o'clock, the Katie Sassine Show this morning. Don't miss Katie Sassine at 10 o'clock on FYNTV.com, so stay with us after our programming today. I'm now joined by the Vice President, Geoff Edelman.
Jeff.
What did I say?
Greg.
So we just met and you already corrected me?
Yes.
I thought your name was Greg.
Well, what does it say?
Jeff.
All right, it's Jeff.
Lonnie, you're supposed to be helping me over here.
You're on the hook there.
I'm on the hook. I can't get over it. My sincere apologies to this gentleman, Geoff Edelman. Geoff Edelman, Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association. I'm sorry, I just have like that. You were here earlier. I think you picked up I like to cut up a little bit, but we won't. We'll have a serious conversation now. But Lonnie knows I like to horse around a little bit. The Blue Ridge, what is, first of all, for those that don't know, Jeff, Mr. Edelman, Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association, what exactly is that? Tell us a little bit about the association before we get into some of the questions.
So it's a membership-owned organization. It's typically folks who live around the shoreline, but it's also boat slip renters, and it's also corporate sponsors that are businesses in town. The organization's been around for some 40 years. The lake is 85 years old. This was a sleepy little village for a long time, but as you well know, it's not any longer. It's a great tourism destination. In Fannin County, there are a number of what I would kind of call business profit centers, whether it's downtown, the city, the restaurants, whether it's out in the mountains walking around, it's cabins in the mountains, it's Mercier orchards, it's the railroad. The lake sits out there and it's practically an invisible asset. And we really want to try to make it more accessible and create some more activities and help it be more of an asset to the county and to the economy here. So I'm here to really talk about what I would call an economic opportunity for the county today.
Well, Jeff, let me ask you another question that people may not know. They hear about Blue Ridge Dam, and they hear about the lake, and then you have the marina. How is the lake actually regulated? What are all the parts of the regulations to the lake, and who does what?
So most folks see the lake from the dam, and they understand that it's full in the summer and it goes down in the winter, and they probably don't have a real good idea how that happens. The TVA owns the water. In fact, they own an integrated system of probably 40 waterways that all go to the northwest and feed the Ohio River to barge traffic. So for them, this is a reservoir and it's a holding tank. When there's a lot of rain, they capture it. When there's a drought, they let it out. They have a model that follows the annual rainfall cycle, if you will. So in the spring, when the rains come, they capture the water, they let the lake fill up, and in the fall and in the winter, they drain it out and run it down the river during more of a dry season. TVA owns the water. The Forest Service owns most of the land around the lake, some 80% of it. So for most folks, they can't really get at it. But from our point of view, honestly, nobody's really taking care of the big picture of it. So in our view, we're trying to be stewards of the lake. We're trying to help make that lake what we want it to be, rather than just kind of let it happen. If there's no vision for it, no caretaker of that lake, there's no telling what it might be 50 years from now, 100 years from now. So we're trying to set in motion a model that lets that lake thrive and be healthy for people to enjoy for a long time.
We're talking with Geoff Edelman from the Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association, and let me ask you, what are some of the initiatives for 2017? What are some of the things on the calendar for you guys this year that you want to accomplish, or some goals that you have for 2017?
So our Civic Association for a long time was basically a single activity, which was trying to promote more water in the lake from the TVA. That's been a tough road. We're still pursuing it, but we've broadened considerably. So we're really trying to do a lot of things for the community. And that includes a number of activities for fundraisers. We run a poker run out on the water. We've had a lighted boat parade. We're going to be a major sponsor of the fireworks show this year. We've had a Rotary Blues Train car. We've helped Fannin County set up a high school fishing team, and we have a fishing tournament for high school kids. A lot of this is really to help collect some funds towards a scholarship. So this year we're really happy for our first time to be offering a high school scholarship to someone from Fannin County for 2017 for the next school year. We had to put up a good bit of money to start that. We're working with the North Georgia Community Foundation, and they're helping us route that money into a scholarship fund.
Well, you know, I attended and watched the night boat parade, and I just really enjoyed that because so many people just got so involved, and I was thinking to myself, okay, it's a night boat parade. How's this work? Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was so much fun.
Creative. Everybody had a lot of fun, creative, decorating their boats.
And that yielded some good money for the scholarship fund.
Right, that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
And everything about it was for the scholarship fund.
Sure. And another thing we did this past year was help sponsor some music on the lake. We had people park at the marina. We ferried them over to a house across from the marina that the Pontons own. And we had a great outdoor nighttime music concert. Again, put a good bit of money into the scholarship fund. So again, we think that by promoting the lake, by doing things to collect some funds, we're really helping achieve the lake to be more of a destination for people who live here as well as visitors here. We're trying to just promote more things to happen and get more businesses involved with it.
Down at the, let's say, the Green Creek Day Use, down the TVA has some property there, has houses. What's going on in that area? Some people have asked me, say, hey, what's going on with the rec area, the rec department area, and that area that the TVA owns? What's going on with that? Can you share what's happening there?
So again, the TVA, the Forest Service, don't really have a lot of manpower to help take care of this lake, and that's one of the holes we're trying to fill with it. The TVA owns property up by the dam, some 35 acres, 4 little houses up there. Nobody lives in them. They're basically falling apart. It's one of the best property parcels on the lake. And fortunately, the TVA, in a cooperative spirit with the county here, is going to help, going to allow us to repurpose that property. We've got to get the county involved too, but they'll both put up funds together, and we can turn that property into another great destination. It'll have walking trails, picnic tables, we'll clear out brush, we'll make it very scenic for everybody. In the future, we have the opportunity maybe to build a community center out there. And in particular, we're going to start with a dock out there, which will be wheelchair accessible. There's no place on the lake where a disabled person can board a boat and see the lake. So, boy, what a great idea. Now,
I am. I'm thinking to myself, wow, yes, there's nowhere on the lake wheelchair accessible.
Exactly.
Docks. And
So,
that is great.
Now, the Green Creek property, which is along Dry Branch Road off of Vasca Road, is owned by the Forest Service. And there's an old campground that's been closed down. There's a day-use park. It's typically been filled with trash. So we've adopted that. And we go out a couple times a year. We clean it up. We cut the grass. We're trying to put in some picnic tables. And next to it is a paved walking trail in the old campground. And we're also working with the county and a couple other groups to turn that into a wheelchair accessible path for wounded veterans and anybody else who can't navigate on 2 feet. So again, we think those are just great ideas. We think they're the future of our Civic Association to help make this lake just more of an asset for the county.
Talking about the future of the Civic Association, now share with our viewers and anybody listening, how do you become a member or is membership only limited to the residents around the lake? Tell us a little bit about membership of this association.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, one might visualize that the shoreline owners are your primary group,
right,
and they really are. And they're probably one of the biggest tax bases in the county. There's 400 boat slip rentals at the marina, though, and certainly we'd like for all of them to be parts of this. And ideally, businesses in the community that are at all tied to tourism, we would love to have them as members and help get guidance from them on how we can make this more valuable for everybody. So we're trying to get those several groups as partners with us in terms of making that lake more of an asset for everybody.
So membership is open. If you enjoy the lake,
if you're a friend of the lake, come help us.
Absolutely. If you're a friend of Lake Blue Ridge and you like what you hear, I'm enjoying it because I tell you, everything you're talking about are just all positive things for the community.
Well, the Lodging Association
Right.
has a group. The Business Association has a group. The Railroad has a group. We'd like to have more of a group behind us as well. It's a terrific asset, and it's so underutilized. Very few people know how to even get to the lake or put their feet in the water out there. We can change all that if we work together.
How can people get in touch with you or find the Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association to get this information?
So we have a website, LBRCA, Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association, lbrca.org. And it has a good bit of information about us as well as a how to join membership page out of it. You can start with PayPal and join right up and come to our meetings and present yourself as a civilian volunteer, if you will. We've got plenty of committee work opportunities for folks. We'd love to get more people involved.
Geoff, is there anything else concerning the association or around Lake Blue Ridge that we didn't touch on today that you wanted to make sure you shared with people before we close?
Well, in particular, take a look at our website, come visit our activities, talk to some of our board members, present some ideas. We'd love to get more membership, help us with these activities. They all take time, they all take money, but they've got a lot of value to everybody in the community here. So come join us, and that's the message we'd like to send out.
You may have already mentioned this, but if you have, and I'm asking the second time, let me run back through it again. In 2017 on the scholarship, what particular events do you have planned for 2017 to benefit the scholarship fund?
So the poker run, the lighted boat parade,
Right.
probably more concert activity, and some support for the fireworks show. We'll look for an opportunity to get some contributions from that as well, are the main things we're doing.
So I can look forward to the lighted boat show parade again this year.
It'll likely be around the 4th of July weekend to kind of piggyback on the fireworks, which I think will be on a Monday night.
Did you have a boat in the parade?
I didn't, but
You
I was
did?
one of the helpers to get it set up.
I was going to say because it was great. I just
Well,
really
we
enjoyed
anticipate
that. And you can see it
probably-
from everywhere. They do the they
did a
it's a
good loop.
parade. They do the whole
We had
perimeter.
some 25 boats
Yes.
this year. We expect 2 or 3 times as many. It's going to be a great show. So, come enjoy it.
Geoff, thank you very much. I appreciate it for you coming on and sharing that information. Sometimes we see these assets, these beautiful natural assets, and a friend of mine, Carlene Ferguson, we call North Georgia the great outdoor playground, and it is. If you're in North Georgia, so many assets that we have up here in our great outdoor playground. We've been talking about the Lake Blue Ridge Civic Association with Mr. Geoff Edelman. Again, thank you, sir. I appreciate it very
thank you.
much. Lonnie, take us to break, and we will have this on our YouTube channel, this segment, and also they'll have it on their website. Lonnie, take us to break.